that I've seen him play in a while. And like you said, Hardaker will probably spend his season in the centre with Bevan French at fullback for Wigan. So that kind of is what swayed it.
So Ben's gone for Tommy Makinson and Tom Johnson as the wingers in agreement with us. Centres has gone Gildart and Newman. I think Harry Newman maybe in 4 years' time, absolutely. I just think he's a bit raw at the minute, and I think the reason I've and this will raise debate. The reason I've gone for Reece Lynn is purely because I think that Reece Lynn is probably, whilst he hasn't got the attacking prowess of a Gildart and a Percival, I think Reece Lynn's probably the most solid of all the centres on offer in terms of he's a big specimen. His yardage carries are good. His defence is as good as any centre, I think. So that's what puts Reece Lynn in there for me.
I did, yeah. My centres, I did struggle with. Apart from Percival, I sort of ummed and ahed about Gildart, Reece Lynn. Wingers, I think you can't argue with.
No.
With those.
No. So half-backs, I'm guessing that means Widdop, Ben. So you've gone Widdop and Lomax. So
which is what I've gone for.
You've gone with Zoe. I've gone for Luke Gale in there just because I think... I'm a big Luke Gale fan when he's on song, and if I'm being totally honest, I've never seen Gareth Widdop have a good game for England, or very, very little. In fact, the best games he's played for England have been at fullback. And I just think, judging by what I've seen in the early parts of the season, I think Gale, to say he's been injured for a long period of time, is seemingly fit, is fitted into that Leeds team, like a hand in a glove. And I think that Widdop has just he's not really done anything for me. So that's just my personal opinion. Then I've gone for Gale over Widdop. So what we got here, Walmsley or Watson, one prop with Thompson as the over. Yeah, that's fine. So I've gone Walmsley and Thompson starting. Darrell Clarke at hooker. We've both gone James Roby, but I think we're both in agreement that I'd rather have Clarke in my team, but I think Clarke is better coming off the bench and injecting some pace.
He adds, like you said, a bit of pace coming off the bench, that little bit of fire that you need when your team are sort of tiring a little bit and you need someone to come on and give you that little bit of something extra. I think Darrell Clarke will provide that off the bench. And you've obviously got James Roby starting, sort of a more steady head, and I think that'd work quite well.
Josh Jones and Asher second row. I've gone with Farrell just on the basis that I just think Farrell's got that experience in international level, and I know everybody says you need to you can't get experience without playing. I just think Liam Farrell's got that knack of performing in the big games, and that's no disrespect to others. I just think that he's every time Wigan are in a final or every time Wigan are in a big game, Liam Farrell seems to just up his game and always been one of their consistent performers. So that's why I've gone Farrell and Jones, and at loose forward, Ben's gone for Morgan Smithies. Another one similar to Newman, I think in 4 years' time, perhaps. Yeah, but
I mean, I looked at Morgan Smithies and I thought, considered it, but then I just don't think he needs to get more Wigan games under his belt, doesn't he? I know he's played quite a few times and he's been prominent for them in his first season or so, and I think he has burst onto the scene and played really well. He's only 19 years old. But yeah, I think he needs a few more years before he can play in the senior. I mean, before he can play in the senior.
I mean, my worry is just with Smithies. I think you look at the opposition of an Australia or a New Zealand, and your halfbacks a bit bigger than the size of Morgan Smithies. I just think give him 4 years, let him play at Super League level and keep doing it, and then give him that loose forward spot.
And we'd put Morgan Knowles in there, didn't we? But he's Welsh, so we can't have him in. If it were Great Britain, then fair enough.
And I've gone with a big bench. I've gone with hooker because I think spelling with Roby. Let Roby do the first 20, get Clarke on for middle 40, and then Roby. To
finish it off.
Or whatever. If you've brought Clarke on and he's absolutely killing it and stuff, then leave him on. But it's always good to have Roby in your squad to do the nitty gritty. And the reason I've gone for three middles in there rather than an edge player or a back as you've gone for, I just think that you've got Jones and Farrell who play 80 minutes. you know, should you get an injury to one of those, it's unfortunate. You just have to shift somebody out there into the second row. Joe Philbin would probably have to go in there, but I just think real big blokes, your Taylors, your Coopers, your Watts, you know, three real tough, aggressive players coming off the bench. I just think you've got that rotation there, Walmsley, Thompson and Philbin. You can sort of, I'm not saying that they pace themselves at the clubs, but they play more minutes than other players at the clubs. I think if you give them, say, right, I want 25 minutes from you, full intensity, your Walmsley, your Thompsons, and then you're getting replaced. Can you imagine what that 25 minutes would be? I think a lot of it sometimes at Saints is they want to try and keep Walmsley and Thompson on the field as long as possible. So yeah, that's why I've gone really big on the bench. So obviously you've gone. I think you're missing a bench spot, or have you filled it in?
No, I haven't filled it in yet. So I'm missing a loose forward and a bench spot, but
it is.
Probably be as. I mean, it's a toss up. They could go to anybody, but I'd probably go like you and put an extra prop at loose forward.
Tell you what, it's a big aggressive side, right? Well, we'll go on to the Exiles. I think Ben, did you name your bench, Ben? I think I've missed it on the comments. I can't see whether you have or not.
I have to turn my phone off because it's on 10%. I don't have a charger.
Right, so your bench is James Roby, Reece Lynn, Liam Farrell, and Mike Cooper. Right, so Exiles. Do you want to do yours, or shall I do mine? Or?
Yeah, you go for yours first if you want.
I've gone Bevan French at fullback. I've gone Mahe Fanua, Israel Folau on the wing. I've gone Bill Tupu and Conrad Harrell in the centres. James Maloney and Aidan Caesar at halfback. I've gone for a front row of David Fafita, Joey Lussick, Matt Pryor, Manu Mao, Ben Murdoch-Masila in the back row, and I've gone for Jason Clark at loose forward. And on the bench, I've gone Tommy Luluai, Kalepi Tanginoa, Liggy Sau, and Sam Cassiano.
Interesting. So I'm missing a bench again, but I've gone. We're pretty similar on this one. I think I've got Bevan French at fullback, Fanua and Folau on the wings, Nagama and Harrell in the centres, James Maloney and Aidan Caesar at halves, Fafita, Matt Parcell and Matt Pryor, and then Manu Mao, Reece Martin, and Murdoch-Masila at loose forward. And then I've got Lola Hare on the bench, along with Sam Cassiano, Tanginoa, and then somebody else.
Right, well, we'll go through yours, Ben. So Ben's got French at fullback, Fanua, Folau on the wings. Please do your spell check, Ben, before you... Fanua, I think, well, it says Fonda Falu, W. I understand Hurrell C. So I think that's meant to be somebody else and Hurrell in centre, because you've then gone straight onto halfbacks. So let us know who your other centre is. Maloney and Caesar at halfback. Who have you gone for your halfback?
Maloney and Caesar.
Have you? Fafita, Parcell and Cassiano. And then your back row, you got Zeb Taylor, Manu Mao, and Murdoch-Masila at loose forward, and your bench of Martin, Luluai, Gave, and Coyote?
How's he spelling it?
Come on, Ben, help us out here, mate. Coyote. I'm trying to think who this Coyote is. Anyway, we'll discuss our couple of our teams, really. I think there's a fair amount similar, isn't there?
Yeah. The only difference, I've gone for Nagama in the centres and you've gone for Tupu.
Yeah.
Just purely because of his first season with Saints last year. And he looks to have carried that form on as well. And I think if we'd have had a complete season, he'd be up there for me. So it was a toss-up, but I just think Nagama edges it.
Yeah, he's a good player, but I've obviously gone a little bit of biased in there, but I think it's warranted, his selection, because I think he's been a great centre. So your other centre was Inu, Chris Inu. Interesting, that one. Come on, who's the Coote? You've gone for Coote on bench. That's interesting. I thought we said, Ben, there were no rules. We couldn't have
because they were great.
Because they played for Great Britain. I thought we were going to leave them out of both teams. Anyway, I've got the way I've gone for this this pack and bench, a bit of variation, and people might say, Jason Clarke, what you put him in for? Now, the reason I've put him in that team is because I look at Fafita, I look at Mao, I look at Murdoch Masila, I look at Liggy Sam and Sam Cassiano to come off bench, and I think, great, they're all big human beings who are flamboyant and big wrecking balls. I just think Jason Clarke can be that steady head in there. That steady head in there, just to hold the pack together, offer a different dimension, do those little things right, and let the other big boys take all the glory sort of thing. So that's why he's in there. I've kept Ben Murdoch-Masila in second row. I think he's wasted as a loose forward. I know you two have put him at loose forward. I think he's wasted down middle. I think he has to play on the edge for me and run on the fringes to be most dangerous. And then the reason I've gone for the bench is Lussick isn't an 80-minute hooker. I think Luluai's tough. Just edges it over Parcell for me, does Luluai. So I've gone for Luluai there. Tanguy Noah, because he can play as a middle or predominantly as a back rower, so he could spell Manu Mao or Murdoch Masila or even Jason Clarke. And then I've gone Liggy Sow and Sam Cassiano as your props there to spell with Fafita and Pryor.
Good, yeah. I mean, not much different. I mean, I'm missing a bench player, but I'll probably put another prop in there. I chose personally Murdoch Masila for loose forward, and I've gone with Reece Martin and Manu Mao. Just because I think I've been impressed with Martin at Leeds, and I think he offers something a little bit different.
Well, you'd want him kicking goals for you, wouldn't you?
Exactly. And I mean, for PNG, he's kicked. I was going to say PSG. Then I don't play for Paris. He's just offers something a bit different, and like you said, his goal kicking record is second to none. So, so I've gone with him in my starting lineup, and then I've got Lolohea, Cassiano, and Tanguy Noah on the bench with somebody else in there as well, which is yet to be decided.
TBC. So if you've got your Lolohea on bench, what's your thinking there in terms of how do you get him on? Is it just an option? Do you put him on at hooker?
Yeah, just another option. I think.
Do you put him on? Because I'm one of them. I'm quite old-fashioned, and I know on international stage
I think you're very methodical, and you're thinking about. You've got your coaching brain on, but I don't really have a coaching brain.
But I think your international a lot of them like to put an extra half back on there. I think it's I'd rather have an hooker or an half back who can play at hooker, who's dangerous at hooker. Burrow were perfect, obviously, in his heyday because he could play both easy. I just like to have that extra hooker because your half backs you don't need to spell them. They're not going to get fatigued. Only reason you'd want to change them is if your game plan ain't going right or they're playing poor. Yeah. Now you should have confidence in your 6 and 7 to go out there and do the job regardless. So that's my I like to go with on bench and hooker, 2 props, and somebody who can play back row and middle. Now Tanguy Noah's perfect for that, and especially because you've got 2 big blokes in Manu Mao and Murdoch Masila. Now, with all due respect, this is where England win the battle for me because you've got Jones and Farrell who are 80-minute back rowers. I don't think Murdoch Masila and Manu Mao are.
No,
so you need a back rower on the bench. So
Murdoch Masila's not going to play 80 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where you're different to me. I just picked who I like and who I think could get into the team. And I like Lolohea the way he plays. So where he'd fit in, I'm not sure, but that's why I've put him on the bench. So.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you've got more of a coaching brain than me.
That's one thing I put on.
I'm not.
It's one of my pet.
I've got no idea
it's
about
one of my
it.
pet hates that whenever I see people doing the 17s and the teams, and I see on bench that they've got somebody on there, and I'm thinking he's not going to get on unless there's an in. I just see it as a. I don't know. It's just the way I am. I've always been particular in my bench and stuff. But looking at comparing the 2 teams, I think
it'd be a cracking game.
I just think that it'd be a great game because you've got England in there, you've got some really skillful players, some great rugby brains in there, some good engines, should I say, and then you've got the Exiles, and it's full of brutal. I mean, 2 and Harrell in the centres. You wouldn't fancy coming up against them, would you? They're brutal, they're big, they're going to cause some damage. I don't know who I'd go for. I think I'd maybe. I think if you're looking at,
everyone will have their different opinions of who makes the 17, but that's what makes it interesting. And I think if we're not, I mean, obviously it was announced we're not going to be playing against, we're not going to have the Autumn International. So, like we said last week, it is the next best thing. And I don't see any reason why they can't bring it back.
Yeah.
See, it's easy enough to. I mean, you'll be able to market it. I mean,
But the thing is, the marketing's been done as far as I'm concerned, because your England coach has come out and said it was thank God another day picking an Exiles team because he thinks it'd be a great game for England. So your marketing's been done there, hasn't it?
Exactly.
So anyway, right. So yeah, two good teams. I think it's just worth noting that for those listening who are a bit thinking, why ain't it in? We've just purely picked it on English-based players. So nobody that's eligible from the NRL. So your Batemans, your Whiteheads, etc. They've not been
play
considered
anyway,
because they wouldn't play. So I'm just clearing that up. So Ben, he's named his all-time Super League team. So what I'll do is, because I've got it saved on my phone, I'll read mine out, Ben, and then we'll have a look at yours. So I've gone Chris Redlinski at fullback. I've gone Leslie Vainikolo and Ryan Hall as the wingers. Jamie Lyon and Keith Senior in the centres. Danny Maguire and Sean Long at halfback. In the pack, I've gone Stuart Fielden, James Roby, Jamie Peacock. Second rowers, and I've done it on this generator thing. I've gone Gareth from the options available. I've gone Gareth Ellis and Ben Westwood. But I think I'd probably change those two, or at least one of them should I monitor them further. If I'd have looked through all the second rowers in the game, I think David Solomon would have been up there. And at loose forward, I've gone with Paul Sculthorpe. So that's my 13. So Ben has got Wellens at fullback, Robinson and Hall on the wings, Newlove and Connolly in the centres, Maguire, Bobby Goulding at halfback, props Fielden and Peacock, Cunningham at hooker, Bateman and Westwood in the second rows, and Andy Farrell at loose forward. And then you picked a bench. You picked Senior, Burrow, Sinfield and Graham on the bench. Interesting. I haven't picked a bench. I've just gone with my 13. Yeah, interesting. I think the thing is, it's all up for debate.
Yeah.
You can't say what's right and what's wrong, because at the end of the day, it's just personal opinion. See, I've gone for Radlinski over Wellens, but I could have quite easily gone for Wellens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's been so many great players over the years that I think it's hard to pick a 13 or a 17.
I'm a bit surprised, Ben, you haven't found a place for Leslie Vainikolo. I'm a bit surprised on that, because I think Vainikolo unbelievable, absolutely. There was nobody stopping him in full flight. He was great. Vainikolo, Bobby Goulding, great player, but I've gone for Sean Long. I just think Sean Long is just an absolute. He's the general you wanted as your halfback, an absolute freak of a player for me. And Maguire, I just think he's probably pound for pound one of the best Super League players has been.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, he played through all of Leeds' golden years, didn't he? And was just the player that you'd want on your team.
But the reason I put Danny Maguire above most other people is because I look at other players and I think, yeah, he's had 4 years when he had his pace, when he was good, I put Danny Maguire above all them because he's adapted his game and still been one of the best. So when he first came on the scene, 2004, 2003, 4, 5, or whatever, before that, he was devastating in the fact he'd break tackles, he'd round the fullback, he was devastatingly quick. And then you look at the last 5, 6, 7 years of Danny Maguire's career, and he was the general. He was the one who guided the team around the park. He matured as a player while still playing at a really top level. I don't think many players have done that, so that's why Maguire is ahead of the rest for me.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. The other reason I didn't do one is because I can't remember what I had for dinner last week, let alone a full Super League 13 since 1990, whatever. So that's why I didn't do one. But I probably agree with what you've. Probably go for a combination of both yours and Ben's.
Well, we've done as teams. I think let's have a song, eh?
Let's have a song. How long have we got?
Well, we've 25 minutes
25 minutes in, eh?
26 nearly now.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Done it. So you picked this song, your first one.
Tom. Tom Grennan, yeah.
this is the place. So you're listening to On the Whistle with Connor and Zoe live on Smile Radio. Don't forget, if you've got any comments or any questions, anything you want to put forward, get in touch with us. Instagram and Twitter at Smile Radio 3. We're on Facebook Live, which is Smile Radio Yorkshire. We've got a few people on watching. And if you want to drop me an email, it's richard@smileradio.co. So we're right back after a bit of Tom Grennan. Shabba.
Never heard it.
I picture your face, hands on my waist. You've gone with no trace, and I can't break the cycle of you in my mind. Oh, this is the place that I come to forget you. These are the nights that I drink to regret you. These are the times I know I can't replace you. Wish that I was somewhere else, wish that I was somewhere with. This is the place that I come to forget you. These are the nights that I drink to regret you. These are the times I know I can't replace you. Wish that I was somewhere else, wish that I was somewhere with you. Somewhere with you. Somewhere with you. Somewhere with you. I'm torturing myself for photographs or messages. No, this gone lost. I hope you know I wouldn't change a thing. Your hands on me, those memories. I picture your face, and I can't break the cycle of you in my mind. Oh, this is the place that I come to forget you. These are the nights that I drink to regret you. These are the times I know I can't replace you. Wish that I was somewhere else, wish that I was somewhere with. This is the place that I come to forget you. These are the nights that I drink to regret you. These are the times I know I can't replace you. Wish that I was somewhere else, wish that I was somewhere with you. Somewhere with you. Somewhere with you. Somewhere with you. My love for you will never run cold. My love for you will never run cold. My love for you will never run cold. And I can't break the cycle of you in my mind. Oh, this is the place that I come to forget you. These are the nights that I drink to regret you. These are the times I know I can't replace you. Wish that I was somewhere else, wish that I was somewhere with. This is the place that I come to forget you. These are the nights that I drink to regret you. These are the times I know I can't replace you. Wish that I was somewhere else, wish that I was somewhere with you. With you, with you. Somewhere with you. Somewhere with you. This is the place that I come to forget you.
College Grove Nursery in Wakefield has been providing the highest standard of childcare for over 22 years. Situated on Eastmore Road, we are close to the M1 and M62 motorway network and also convenient for Wakefield city centre, schools and major places of employment. For more details, check out our website at www.collegegrovenursery.co.uk or give us a call on 01924 200 120 to arrange a visit. College Grove, a special nursery which takes a hand, opens a mind and touches a heart.
We're back.
We're back. We're back. So Ben asked me a question just before we broke for a song. He asked me who would be my captain and goal kicker from that 13 of Super League all time. Tough one. I'm unsure on captain. Goal kicker, there's only two. That it'd be between Jamie Lyon and Paul Sculthorpe. It would have to be, I think, Jamie Lyon. I think Jamie Lyon kicked really well for Saints. So, my captain, probably Peacock or Sculthorpe. Peacock or Sculthorpe, I think. My captain. Yeah, there we go. What about you, Ben? Let us know who your captain and goal kicker would be from your team. But we've got a fair bit to talk about, really, haven't we? In football as well. League 1 and League 2, their seasons are ending.
Yeah,
ended, should we say?
Yes, I've not really I've just seen that today. I've not really read up on it properly, so I don't really know what the crack is. So go on, tell us.
Well, the season's ended. Simple as that. The season's ended. Done your research again, have you?
Yeah.
And it's going to stand.
Prepared.
So it's going to be on a points per game. We're still going to play the playoffs. So if I don't know, for example, whoever's in the playoffs, they'll still play their games to see who goes up into the Championship and League One from League One and League Two. So I flicked on Twitter this afternoon and I saw what Rotherham tweeting, we've gone up to the Championship, and I'm thinking, oh God, what's happened here? So yeah, their seasons have finished, done and dusted.
What do you think to that? Do you think it's the right decision, or do you think it's the wrong decision?
It's got to be the right decision because it's the clubs that have decided that. So, the clubs have decided all together as a vote to end the season and do it by points per game. So there you go. You know that the clubs that will have voted against that are the clubs in the relegation zones.
Exactly.
But, collectively the clubs have voted for it, so you can't really argue. That's that.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
you've seen the boundaries and the stress that people have gone through to get Premier League and Championship back. So to get League One and League Two,
it'd be a big ask, wouldn't it?
It is a lot. But yeah, Ben Maguire captain, Farrell goal kicker, John Keir coach. Good old JK, eh? It's reminded me. I've ordered his book, Coaching is Chaos. Hopefully that'll come soon, so I can have a good read.
Oh yeah, you said that the other day. That'll be good.
Yeah,
it'll be an interesting read.
Definitely will. We'll stay on rugby league then for the time being while we've got you communicating and that, Ben. So Toronto Wolfpack, they're targeting every man and the dog, aren't they, to sign? Stevie Ward and Ryan Hall at latest rumoured.
Yes, ambitious.
I don't know if it's ambitious. I won't.
I think for Toronto it is.
I won't really thank you for Stevie Ward, if I'm being perfectly honest. And Ryan Hall, it'll just cause an absolute. It'll cost an absolute bomb. But
well, that's the thing. So how are they?
He's a player past his best, isn't he?
Well, I don't know. He played for Roosters last weekend.
Come on,
didn't
he's past his best. You can't. He's been at the peak. He's in his what 40s now. There's no hiding away. He's still a good player, yeah, but he's past his best, and he's only going to get worse and worse throughout his career. I couldn't think of another way to put that. He's never going to be a bad player as Ryan Hall, but he's never going to improve. That's the point I'm making.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you make a good point. But how are they getting the money, and how are they affording to go after these players when they were in financial struggles not so long ago? Whether they still are or not, I'm not sure, but it seems a bit daft to me that if they've been going through all these issues and then now they're looking to sign everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got rid of Andy Ackers, haven't they, to Salford, but I can't imagine that'll free up a lot of space on the salary cap.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yes, it is a funny one. It's a funny one. They're on a very thin squad as it is, but they're going to have to maintain a thin squad, aren't they? Because they can't be paying. How much are paying Sonny Bill Williams, do you reckon?
A lot. It'll be nearly half the salary cap.
Interesting that none of us picked Sonny Bill Williams in his teams for Exiles.
Well, I think there was a lot of hype about him coming over, and obviously he brought a lot of publicity and everything, and he still continues to do so. But I think there's far better players than him to get into the Exiles team. Do you not?
Well, yeah, that's why I've not picked him. That's why I've not picked him.
So it'll be the majority of the however much they're paying him, and they obviously will continue to do that. So how they free up the rest of that space for these other players that they want, because they're on a thin squad. They didn't even have 24-man squad, did they, before the season started? And they've got all these injuries that are, long like James Cunningham, he's long-term injured, isn't he? And so you just wonder.
Yeah. Just on the NRL, obviously another round of fixtures have gone past at the weekend. One thing I want to point out, and it's going back to this new rule about setting reset of 6 and stuff. I think you're going to see a lot of blowout scores and a lot of high scoring games. I think.
We've seen it already, haven't we?
Sydney won 59-0, and although Sydney were head and shoulders above Brisbane, I don't particularly think it were a 59-0 game. I think it's easy for teams to get rolls on, and there'll be tries after tries after tries. I think with this rule, absolutely, because teams will be fatigued.
Absolutely. I mean, I think quite a few of the games so far have showed that, haven't they? That there have been these big score lines already, but there has been some absolute cracking games as well. From what I've watched, because obviously they've all been on Sky Sports, and I've been getting up early on a weekend to watch them. But yeah, I'm just happy that we've got some live sport back.
But I will say Sydney were outstanding. That's probably the best performance I've watched this week. Best game. It seems strange me saying this because
I didn't watch
there were games that were close, and there's been games over the last couple of weeks that have been won by a point and 2 points. I think that's the most enjoyable game I've watched. Sydney 59-0. I just and one of the reasons why I thought it was most enjoyable is because they were winning comfortably. They were being expansive.
Do whatever they wanted.
They were I think sometimes NRL, whilst it is fast paced and real quality sport, sometimes it can be a little bit too conservative. Now I think that Sydney threw the ball around and it was sticking. Everything was sticking. I thought Brett Morris, who had 5 on his back playing at fullback because Tedesco were ruled out, he was unbelievable at fullback. Brett Morris, and he's not getting any younger. And he had his brother Josh in the centre. Them he were great as well. Ryan Hall came in on the wing and had a strong game. All over the park, they were just great, and they were throwing passes around and it was a joy to watch.
Yeah, I think they're probably one of the favourites out there this year. I mean, I watched you. I think you were still in bed on Sunday. I watched. Who did I watch? West Tigers and Titans. Obviously, the Titans haven't won in about a year. Obviously, Justin Holbrook has come in this year, and I thought that was a real good game. Tigers were winning 23-22 with the score. Benji Marshall dropped a goal with 2 minutes to go, and then Titans went up the other end and chose not to kick a drop goal to make it a draw, but they went on and played another set of 6 and scored in the corner, so they deserved that. I think they've been playing well over the past couple of weeks. They've really improved, and I was happy for them that they won that.
Yeah, interesting that Michael Maguire's dropped Benji Marshall this week.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Is he injured or?
Well, maybe I don't know, and like I say, I didn't watch the game, so I can't pass judgment. What I will say is, maybe Michael Maguire's particularly frustrated that the game management wasn't good enough from his team to get in a winning position and not see the game out. That's only my personal opinion. I can't obviously go too much into that with not seeing it. But my thought is, from my coach's head again, if you're in a winning position against a team that have been poor and you've not managed to see that result out, then you're going to question your leaders and your pivots.
Yeah. And
Benji Marshall obviously has copped for that, and he finds himself number 18 in the reserves. But I said to you earlier, it won't surprise me if he comes in between now and the game and ends up playing at half. Yeah. Won't surprise me.
He's a class act to leave out, isn't he? Whether that's happened or not. So
who are they playing West this week?
I'm not sure if you've got the fixtures up.
Canberra, aren't they? I'm sure they're playing Canberra.
I'm not sure. I've not looked at the fixtures for this week. But I mean, Canberra again, another quality side, so it'll be a tough ask to beat them as well.
Yeah, it will. So we're going in the last 20 minutes now. I think we should be ready for a second song, and then we'll finish off with
a bit of football. Yeah, sounds good.
So again, Zoe's picked the tunes this week. So we've got Good as Hell by Lizzo.
Yeah, we have.
So get in touch with us. You know what to do. We're on Smile Radio Yorkshire on Facebook. Instagram and Twitter is @Smile Radio 3. And we're also on YouTube and Periscope. So if you want to watch and see our beautiful faces, one out of the three of us is better looking than the others. But anyway, sorry, Connor. I'm speaking for you or me, mate. So this is Good as Hell by Lizzo, live on Smile Radio. We're right back after this.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Woo, child, tired of the bullshit. Gone, dust your shoulders off. Keep it moving, yes, Lord. Trying to get some new shit in there. Swimwear, going to the pool shit. Come now, come dry your eyes. You know you a star, you can touch the sky. I know that it's hard, but you have to try. If you need advice, let me simplify. If he don't love you anymore, just walk your fine ass out the door. I do my hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Baby, how you feeling? Woo, girl, need to kick off your shoes. Gotta take a deep breath, time to focus on you. All the big fights, long nights that you've been through. I got a bottle of tequila I've been saving for you. Boss up and change your life. You can have it all, no sacrifice. I know we did you wrong, we can make it right. So go and let it all hang out tonight. Cause he don't love you anymore. So walk your fine ass out the door. And do your hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? And we gon' be all my hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Yeah. Alright. Listen, if he don't love you anymore, then walk your fine ass out the door. And do your hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? And we gon' make it right. Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell. Baby, how you feeling?
We are back.
We're back.
It's a belter that. I've not heard it for a while. Good as hell. I like it.
So I've done all right with song choices this week.
Yeah, you're doing all right. So yeah, let's move
Just
on
before,
to.
no, just
go on.
before we go on to football, I was just looking at the NRL fixtures on my phone, and we were talking about the 6 again rule. It's being discussed by the RFL this week to decide whether or not, I'm guessing, to introduce it into Super League and down. If what do you think?
I don't know. I just worry that there's blowout scores in Super League as it is.
Yeah,
I think with this rule that, well, I've seen, and I'm going to use Wakefield as an example because I can. We've been probably at times dominated by, say, St Helens for 60 minutes. Looked out, not out of sorts, but hung on and hung in there. A bit of good fortune as well. But then we've clawed our way back in and we've won those games. Now, I think as part of our entertainment, that's what you want to see. You want to see teams that, although they haven't been at the best, winning it. My danger is you introduce that and you see more 50, 60 point score lines, and that's just my personal opinion. I don't know what everyone else thinks. I don't know.
I think I agree. I just, in my opinion, I don't know why it was brought in the first place. Obviously, it was to, I'm guessing, to quicken up the game, which it has done, but I don't think it needed to be brought in as such. And I think it's had a few critics over here, and I think it'll be debated by, I think people will have their opinions, and the powers that be, it'll not be a straightforward decision. I do, however, think that all leagues should be playing exactly the same rules.
But that's why I
And we've
think
said
that's
that. We've
why
said that before.
there's because they're separate
But-
businesses and they're separate. So NRL will just think, oh, we're doing this, and then Super League think, hang on a minute, should we follow suit? It's
Yeah.
the same every
Yeah.
time. You don't see Super League coming up with a rule and then NRL thinking
Exactly,
we do that.
yeah.
NRL, if Super League come up with a rule, NRL would do the best not to follow it at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the sort of predicament that we're in. So it's just I said it last week. Rugby league is the only sport that thinks they have to change the rules every year. There's always a new rule every year. When was the last time football changed rule? Football have had add-ons like your VAR and things like that, but they've not necessarily changed the rule, have they? Really, for a long time, or an odd one every so often.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm
Like
not,
this
I don't
video
get it.
ref, what a load of rubbish that is. Where the referee has to say whether he thinks it's a try or a no try.
Oh, we've spoken
What,
about
it's
that before.
rubbish.
Oh no, I know it is. I agree, because you're sending it up to the video referee
Because
you
you're not
don't.
sure.
You're not sure. So, yeah, we could say that to a blue in the face, but I agree with that one as well. But what do we know?
A lot more than some of the people that are in charge. I'll tell you that for fact. Absolutely. So come on then, football. We're back underway next Wednesday.
I know.
I've ordered my Arsenal retro shirt. That should be
Ready
here by
for
end
it.
of week. JVC Bruce Banana shirt. So I'm ready. Next Man City next Wednesday, 8:15 kick-off on Sky.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Can't
I think
wait.
it'll be. It's exciting.
I think since we spoke last week, they've done the
They've-
fixtures, haven't they? So I think
Yeah.
there's like, I don't think there's a day goes by for 4 weeks where there's
Well, there's
no
nothing,
football
yeah.
game. You know, there's a game, whether it's Championship or Premier League.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
games on. So yeah, it'd be
I
interesting.
think we might have to have a limit on how much football will be played
But-
in the house.
But
No.
I'm gonna say no chance. But with NRL, we've obviously seen there behind closed doors, and they've had a good fist at it, and it looks realistic. And I struggle to tell it's behind closed doors watching NRL. Don't think football will be like that. I think it'll be.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how. Well, I mean, we'll find out, won't we, next week when it gets played out. But I'm not sure. Are they going to have crowd noises coming into the stadium? Are they going to sort of do the same as what NRL have done, a bit tongue in cheek of your cardboard cutouts?
Well, we won't know
Well-
with Man City Arsenal game because there's no crowd noise anyway. At
Well,
Etihad.
is it who's Arsenal got down in Brighton in a couple of weeks? Well, I heard on radio today on another station that I was that they've done the same thing. They've offered all the fans £20 to have the cardboard cut out, send a picture in, and they're gonna have it when they're playing Arsenal.
right, okay.
But all the proceeds, all the profit from it is they're donating it to a charity. So, which I just think is brilliant.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
great. Yeah. They didn't have to do that. Did
No,
they? You know,
no.
that is a good. In fact, it'd be easier, Richard, for a club like that to say, "We'll donate to a charity." The fact that they've actually, they'll have to work hard and donate it to a
Yeah.
charity. That's great because they're actually doing the hard work by getting them all
Yeah.
the orders in and getting them around stadium. It'd have been easier to say, "Hang on a minute, we'll pay you."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is
definitely.
so good on them. Good on them.
And the
Doing
other
it off
thing,
their own back.
I wouldn't want to be the one that's cutting out all the cardboard cutouts and
A bit-
sticking them up.
it'd be
That's why I'm trying to stay quiet on it because if Wakefield Trinity play behind closed doors in August and I get asked to do that,
Ben put a comment saying, "Am I right in thinking VAR is being debated for the remainder of the Premier League season?"
I don't know. That's news to us.
Yeah.
If it is, what would be your thoughts on that VAR? I think why change it now?
I don't know.
If you played a full season with VAR,
Yeah.
why change it now? Because fans out there.
Yeah, are they thinking for time constraints or what? Because I know you have your VAR and it can take quite a while to.
Maybe because they're on a
Check
tight
things,
schedule.
maybe
with
'cause they're
games,
on a tight
perhaps,
schedule.
Maybe, but
Um,
by looking at the fixtures, I've not really. Every fixture I've seen, there's enough time in between for stoppages and things like that.
Yeah, so
I'd keep it personally.
I
'cause
can't see why you wouldn't, because obviously you've had played so many games. How many games have they got left? Nine
games,
games. You can't have it for the whole of the season, then not have it for 9 games. And anyway, when you're in I mean, you're in the stadium, aren't you? And fans can't even see the ruling, can they? I mean, at least in rugby, you've got a big screen up and you can tell when you can watch the try back. Whereas they go for a VAR check and you don't see anything, do you? You don't.
No.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Where
but
did you hear that, Ben?
Yeah, interesting.
know.
It'll be on Twitter or something. No
Yeah.
doubt. It's I just won't change it. But I've noticed today another one. Liverpool have started announcing the players that were meant to be off contract this year have signed short-term deals to remain. Now, is that a route that every club's going to be doing that?
Well, yeah, Adam Lallana has signed, hasn't he?
And Andy Lonergan, the keeper as well, third charge keeper or whatever he is. There's been no message from the Premier League as to say all contracts will I think clubs are starting to take their own initiative now, aren't they?
Are they talking about starting the transfer window later or
Yeah,
extending it
but
or
I
whatever?
mean with these, I think Liverpool have taken it amongst themselves upon themselves to give players extended contracts until the end of the year and announce it. No other club's done it, I don't think, have they?
No, David Smith says you cannot change the VAR now. It must run to the end of the season, then review for next season. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You
That's
can't change it midway through the season.
That is a question. This is going to run till the Premier League will now run. If it starts in June, it's going to run till end of July, innit? At the very earliest.
Yeah,
When does the the next season start?
I think, unfortunately, you just have to start it in August.
You can't start
Or whenever it.
surely not. There's no fixtures in place. There's nothing
They'll have
in place
Yeah,
to start in August.
they'll have done. I'm guessing they'll have done some work on it and trying to figure it out. But I don't know. It'd take more effort to put it back because then next season unless you play like we said last week and you play a couple of games a week, for the whole of the season. How do you then? It becomes if you start this season late and you're not prepared to play that many games within the week, then it just becomes a knock-on effect, doesn't it? And then you end next season late, and then the season after you start that late.
Yeah.
So they've had. I mean, I know it's not ideal, and they'll all have been doing their own training and stuff indoors and what have you. But they've had that break, and yeah, fair enough. It's not been what pre-season training would normally be like, but they're coming back. They're going to play however many weeks, and then they'll. In my opinion, I think they should just restart it straight away. Not straight away, obviously, but when they would normally, if the end of it doesn't coincide with the start of next season.
It's mad, isn't it? That the events, it's this coronavirus and that it's serious, and the repercussions it's going to have for next year, and because it will. Because I know what you're saying, Stark, but I don't think they'll start it in all. I don't think if the season's not ending until end of July and beginning of August, they're not going to start the new season in August. I don't think so. I don't think so anyway. Can't see it.
No, I think they're probably towards end of September, to be realistic. I think giving time to get all the fixtures, get everything in place.
Well, I mean,
yeah, it's all right for the Premier League. It's all right for Liverpool to start it next year, but you think about teams that are going to get relegated from Premier League to start a Championship season 2 weeks after relegation. They have no players.
No,
because half of them the contracts will be void.
And Dave Smith said they can't do fixtures until they know who's promoted and relegated. So
exactly.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a quick turnaround, but from what I was saying is, it becomes a knock-on effect, and then you've got season starting later and later and ending later. But who knows? If they start it later, then next season they're going to have to play 2 or 3 games in a week.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
To be able to finish properly next season, and then the season after that they start again in August.
But that's where rugby league's in a better position in the fact that what they can do won't. There's a chance of it not affecting next year. I think whatever the Premier League and Championship do, it will affect next year.
Yeah.
Rugby League now can play the season in November. Put the start of the 2021 season back a couple of weeks or whatever, and they've still got a little bit, albeit not what they would have, but a little bit of time off for an off season.
But then
then 2021 won't be affected.
But then we talked earlier. Obviously, League 1 and League 2 seasons are done. So when do they start? Because it'll be then. They won't be starting in the same do then you put all 4 leagues back to start at the same time? Because obviously League 1 and League 2, they'll be ready to start in August.
The League 1 and League 2 are just going to have to wait until Premier League and Championship. They're going to have to. Because they are. I get your point. They're going to go how many months without a game.
It's going to be detrimental to everybody.
What can you do if their
decision...
season's been null and void? You can't do a great deal.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think look, the number one thing is let's get these 9 games out of the way and then assess it from there.
Does it say on the fixture list when the last weekend is, or when the last?
I'm not sure what confirmed date it is, but I think it's end of July or sure it is.
Yeah,
Sure
I
it
mean
is.
it's just
Crazy.
it's going to be crazy whatever they decide to do, or whether they postpone it for however many weeks. But they're going to have a little bit of a break for everybody to get sorted out. But
Yeah.
there's no right answer at the minute. We don't know what the best
policy is.
Yeah. So
But
we'll just have to wait and see.
I don't think they do either. So it's
Well,
not,
no, exactly.
you know, might as well discuss it.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. So another hour. We've flown by again, and we'll have to end with the one and only Run Around Sue.
Yes, so don't forget, if you've missed this show or any other show, you can catch it again. You can go to our website, www.smaleradio.co/on-demand, or you can download the podcast from Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, and all the major podcasting sites. So all I have to say is thanks everybody tuning in for all your messages. All I have to say is thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
So you've been listening to On the Whistle with Con and Zoe, live on Smile Radio. Take care, guys. Stay safe.
Yeah, my should I known it from the very start. This girl will leave me with a broken heart. Listen, people, what I'm telling you. I keep away from a run around Sue. Yeah, my miss her lips and a smile on her face. The touch of her hand and this girl's warm embrace. So if you don't wanna cry like I do, I keep away from